Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, namaste. In this lecture, we are going to talk about factors of production. I would say this is the most important concept builder. Why most important concept builder? Because there are 4 factors of production. Certainly you would have gone through any of the textbook and you will find these, that there are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. So when you find this, that these 4 factors of production are there, if you understand what capital is, the 3rd factor of production, I can guarantee that this will help you long way in understanding almost half the concepts in economy. You will not have any problem if you understand what capital is. I say the importance of this lecture. If you understand what capital is, you will not have any problem in understanding public finance chapter. So when you talk about public finance, it means I'm talking about the government's revenue and expenditure. So there government's revenue is categorized in 2 parts. One is your capital, second is your non-capital receipts. So receipts capital, non-capital, then expenditure also capital, non-capital from this budget. We will explore these things. I am just telling you the importance. When you talk about balance of payment, there you will find your capital account and then non-capital account. They have given different names for the non-capital. Somewhere they would say, the economists, they have written current account. Somewhere they have written revenue account. This is for non-capital part. So this is important. Be patient, sit back, have a notebook in your hand and listen carefully if you are serious. Okay. There are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. And this is a French term, and French are complex. French people are complex, I say. Entrepreneurship. These are 4 factors of production, as usually in the monotonic way it is being told. But what does it mean by factors of production? You know, in mathematics you would have studied factors. Factors are the constituent part of something. So 2 is a factor of, let's say, 12. So 12 has factor like 2, 3, 4, 6. Right? These are factors. 1 is not considered as a factor, but 1 is also there. But they do not. That's mathematics. Come to economics. Factors are constituent part of anything. So take an example. Let's say I got apple here. Let's say we have apple. Now if you have to find out that what went into producing this apple, my intention was not to show you apple. I happen to have got it for the lecture midway. You see, I have to take some energy, healthful energy. So what went into producing this apple? You think about it, write it down, give a pause to this lecture, think about it, what went into it. So first thing that would come to your mind is most likely someone would have worked there as a labor, right? What else? Was there nothing else? Nothing else. Everything is given by the nature. That's what it is, right? Maybe some of the fertilizers, and then the logistics part. From there it was sent to the market, APMC Mandi. We will understand all these. APMC Mandi, and from there most likely it was transferred to some Mandi in Delhi and it reached me. In the process, labor was used, land was used, capital was used, and some businessmanship, that is your entrepreneurship, was being used. Only these things. But is there anything which is left and which is not included in these factors of production? You can think of raw material. Now when you look at these, you can say raw material is missing, everything is there. But no, that's not That's not right. Whenever in economy you talk about factors of production, you talk about raw material. And the raw material, let's say your natural resources as the raw material, because all other raw materials are your derived raw materials. Natural resources are a part of land. So when I say land, I indirectly say natural resources. Land plus whatever is beneath land, that is being provided by the nature, coal, minerals, and whatever is above land, that is provided by the nature, that is your forest spectrum, right? Yes, spectrum in economics, it's classified as natural resource. Please note that land, when we talk about factors of production, it's just not a piece of 2 hectares of land. It's not plot. It's land. It includes the natural resources. Now you think of this apple and you can certainly come to this conclusion that now factors of production, these 4 factors of production are the complete constituent elements or input of this apple reaching me as a marketable product. Are you clear on land part? Then your labor part. What is labor? Certainly someone would have worked on the farm. But what is the difference between labor and entrepreneur? What is the difference between labor and entrepreneur? Fine. For our understanding, labor is somewhat repetitive in nature, right? Labor involves in your repetitive work. Most likely monotonous, but you understand, one repetitive thing, it's being done again and again and again. That is your labor. So those who get, and getting more clarity, those who get the wages, it means fixed amount per month, or fixed amount per day, or fixed amount per 7 days, that can be categorized into your labor. And those who get the profit, so at the same time you just cannot talk about all the profit, those who bear the losses, they are entrepreneurs. It means it involves this is a French term, the nearest English term is your businessman. See, businessman. See, understand the essence. Essence समझना जरूरी है. और essence is a businessman makes profit because he or she solves problems of the society. So the understanding of politician and businessman is like they are crooked people and they make money out of, let's say, devious methods. That's not correct. The correct understanding of entrepreneurs is that they solve problems of the society. That includes your individual, and in turn they are being rewarded. So you take any business person, that person is an entrepreneur. You talk about, let's say, take the example of Fair and Lovely. Now, Fair and Lovely, the company who runs it, they are the entrepreneurs. They solve a problem in the society, and the problem is people feel that their color, dark color, is a problem. I am not saying that this is a real problem. Even if this problem is manufactured, you understand, manufactured problems are those problems which are being told to you again and again that there is a problem with your skin, that there is a problem with your skin, there is a problem with your skin. On skin, yes. On television, there would be an advertisement, some superstar will come and that superstar will tell you there is a problem with your skin. And if you fail in an interview, most likely because you did not have all the skills required for that job, but they will come on the television and on your screen, and many of the superstars and many of the advertisement and many of your mailbox would be filled with many of your you can call that spam or whatever it is, but it's the marketing agenda. They will tell you there's a problem with your skin color, that is why you are not getting a job. So they are solving a problem. I say this problem can be real, this problem can be manufactured, but they solve the problem and they are rewarded for that. Entrepreneurship. So those who use, so here solving a problem requires your organizing. So here understand, organizing of the resources. Organizing of the resources is your entrepreneurship. It requires what? It requires certainly innovation and risk taking. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind when you talk about, when you think of an entrepreneur or your businessman. Risk is more here because you have chances of having the losses. But a labor, it's not that risky. You will get whatever wages are there at the end of the day, end of the month. Fixed wages are there. Nothing much innovation is required as it is being there. Then he does not have to organize things. Let's say someone opening an institute, then that person has to organize your, let's say he has to call various faculties, he has to get the building there, he has to get all the arrangements. That person is an entrepreneurship. That requires your organizing of the resources. So you understood the concept. Land is one, labor is two, entrepreneurship is fourth. Let's come to third factor of production, that is your capital. Third factor of production, that is your capital. I would say this is the most important for conceptual understanding. What is capital? You see, if you are preparing for CA or commerce, this capital has nothing to do with what people are going to tell you. Capital in economic sense, in economics, for us, capital is something, remember this. Number one, capital is something, I will repeat it again and again and again throughout our lectures. Number one, it is a long-term asset. First condition is that it should be a long-term asset. If something is a long-term asset, it is capital? No. This is the first condition. The second condition for anything to be capital is that it should be used for creation of further wealth. So this asset should be used for creation of further wealth. Wealth is a stock, right? Wealth is a stock, income is your recurring. So the income that you get, if it is deposited at some place or in some of the asset, that is your wealth. Come back. Capital is anything that is, number one, long-term asset, and number two, that is used for creation of further wealth. Remember these four factors of production. My genuine advice to you that you will have to remember these four factors of production, and especially what capital is. These two things, if you are not able to remember, get a tattoo done on your maybe left shoulder, shoulder you don't see, maybe on your chest. LLCE. Get a tattoo, LLCE, and then near capital you just write one thing, long-term asset, and second, that is used for creation of further wealth. Creation of further wealth. You know, when we talk about poverty, I will bring this capital again. We are poor. Yes, there are many reasons that you would tell. If I ask you to write what is the reason that India is poor, you would say India is poor because maybe British ruled India. Then second, you will say India is poor because of population. I ask this question to almost all the classes. Then third, most likely reason that you will tell that there are no employment opportunities. Then you would say education system is faulty. Then you would say that the government is corrupt. There is the nexus between the businessmen and the criminals, mafias, and the politicians and bureaucrats. That nexus is responsible for the poverty in India. There are many reasons that you would say. But you know what is the most important reason why we are poor? Why any country is poor? Because it lacks capital. It is the deficiency of capital that is responsible for any country being poor. We will explore these things through this framework. Ultimately, what is required for this exam? That you know the framework. If you understand the analysis part, certainly you will be able to write properly. Certainly, if you understand what it is, what should be, that's done. What I say is that you understand the framework. Even if a question that is not being discussed to you, you will be able to answer. Having said, let's move ahead. What I was talking is capital. Two things. One, something that is your long-term asset, and second, something that is used for the same thing, used for creation of further wealth. Creation of further wealth. Understand this. Let us take an example of a machine. Let's say you have a machine, a stitching machine, sewing machine. Now this stitching machine, we have to find out whether this is capital or not. A stitching machine, I say, a stitching machine is used to stitch garments, right? So you have to stitch garment, let's say shirt or your pant. A stitching machine is a long-term asset, and for long-term, you just understand it should last more than 1 year. So its life is more than 1 year. This is a general understanding in long-term. So its life should be more than 1 year. More than 1 year. Its life should be more than 1 year. Let's say no economist, the economist would not agree on what does it mean by short term and what does it mean by long term. Economists can have their own opinion about it. So long term, you would have heard this, that we are not sure. No economist is sure that how short is the short term and how long is the long term or long run. So you would hear many people speaking that in long run something is going to help. In the parliamentary debate also, in terms of demonetization, defending the demonetization, the government and various ministers, they mentioned this, that in long term or in long run, demonetization is going to help the economy. That's what they said, right? That is why, in response to it, the opposition, especially Manmohan Singh ji, in his speech, he mentioned one thing, the quotation from the great Adam Smith. Adam Smith once said, now the father of the modern economics, the person who had brought the wealth of nation, he mentioned, in long run, we are all dead. Now, not this way. Our former Prime Minister has mentioned it differently. It was monotonous, but he had said it. In long term, we are all dead. So that is what the real understanding is. Come back. That was a mix of philosophy and economics. In our economics, we are talking about economics here. Philosophy is a separate area. Long term is something that lasts for more than 1 year. So this stitching machine is going to last for more than 1 year. It's not that it is not going to have some breakdown, but yes, you will get it. You will get it rectified. It will going to last for 1 year, so it is a long-term asset. Ask second, whether it is used for creating further wealth. It means it is creating wealth for you or not. Yes. What you are doing, you are stitching, let's say, shirt. This shirt would be sold. This would create income to you, right? So this income is nothing but your further wealth. Stitching machine is capital. Let's say you have got 1000 rupees in your pocket. Let's take the second example. Let's say you have got 1000 rupees in your pocket. Remember, someone say that money, what is capital? You say whatever is in your pocket is capital. मतलब capital क्या है? पैसा capital है. कुछ लोग कहेगा, CA लोग कहेगा mostly, but that's not capital. That is money. पैसा is money. Money is a separate chapter. We will discuss what money is. तो शब्दों में उलझना नहीं है, right? Let's say you have 1000 rupees. This is money. Okay, this is your currency. But it is used as a money, so 1000 rupee is there in your pocket. Now, out of this 1000 rupees, 700 would be used for your consumption. Let's say for your food, for your, maybe if you drink beer or your maja. That 700 rupees is not capital, because this went for the consumption. It's not long term. So that 700 rupees gone. Now I say, let's say you have 300 rupees. 300 rupees is your savings. It matters at the conceptual level what you do with that asset. That differentiates it in terms of capital or non-capital. So if that 300 rupees are being deposited in a bank, let's say your saving deposit, that is your bachat khata, right? Bachat khata. Saving deposit. In your saving account, you have deposited 300 rupees. Assuming that this is going to last, maybe let's say 6 months, again 1 year, it would be there in your saving account. Ask whether this 300 rupee is creating further wealth to you. I take a different color. This 300 rupees is creating further wealth. Yes, because bank is paying you interest. So on this 300 rupees, you are getting your interest. It can be 4%, it can be 5% if it is your Kotak Mahindra Bank. If it is giving you interest, it means it is creating further wealth. If it is creating further wealth, this 300 rupees is the capital, not this 700 rupees. Two things, please remember, for God's sake, kuch bhala ho jayega. Number one, long-term asset. Number two, creation of further wealth. That is your capital. Now I ask you, try answering this question. What about a motorcycle? What about a motorcycle? I did not say bike. Okay, you use this term, bike. What about bike? Is bike capital or not at the conceptual level? Or I ask you, what about the television? What about microwave oven or anything? What about washing machine? What about washing machine? What about washing machine? What would you call these? Are these capital or not? Let's say take a bike. Take the example of motorcycle. What do you do with motorcycle? Yes, you roam around like a Romeo. Not all are Romeos, but most of them, if you have the bike, you roam around. Let's say you use for going to the college and all that. First condition, it is a long-term asset, 100%. Most likely, if you do not dump it somewhere, right? Number two, Is it used for creation of further wealth? Oh, it is not used for creation of further wealth. So our definition says that this is not capital. This is not capital. This is something else. So this is consumable. I say consume just does not mean you are going to eat it. Consume it, something that you are going to use it for your daily use. That is for your daily life. So this is capital, but this is not capital. This is durable, but if it is long term, it is durable. So I say that can it be consumer durable? It is not capital, so it is your consumer. It is durable, so can you call it consumer durable? Let's say, these TV, fridge, washing machine, these are your long-term asset, but not for creation of the wealth, are known as your consumer durables. So capital is different, consumer durables, I say consumer durables are different. Consumer durables. Let's stick our gun to the concept. Motorcycle is capital or not? It's not capital because it's not used for long term. It is not used for creation of further wealth. Okay, if the same bike is being used at, let's say, Domino's Pizza, I am talking about the conceptual level understanding. That is important. Let's say a bike used for food delivery. So if you are using it for food delivery, certainly, and you are charging for it, most likely you are going to charge. So food delivery, this is creating further wealth or not? A bike is a long-term asset, number one. Number two, come to this concept. Is it used for creation of further wealth? Yes. A bike used for food delivery, for Domino's, is creating further wealth. So conceptually, it is capital. Anything that is long-term asset and creates further wealth is a capital. What about television? Number one, long-term, yes. Number two, it creates wealth? No. So it's not capital. What about washing machine? It is a long-term, it creates wealth? No. So it's not capital. If it is not capital, then it is something consumer goods. In consumer, it is durable, so it is your consumer durables. So if you have some money to invest, that is your capital. Now there are two terms I have mentioned, investment and capital. You would have heard of these terms. Are we sure you understood the concept of capital? What we have talked about, 4 factors of production. But one thing I have mentioned here, investment. Have you thought about it? What is the difference between investment and capital? Can you answer this? What is the difference between investment and capital? Investment and capital. Can you differentiate? For your understanding, काफी दिनों से सुना, आज समझ भी लो, पैसा और टाइम वसूल करवा देता हूं. Many a times in many of the newspapers as well as books, you will find these terms used intermittently, used at place of each other, exchangeably. Somewhere they will use capital, somewhere they will use investment, but there is a difference, and this difference has to be known to you. Investment is a flow concept. Capital is a point-based concept. Point-based concept means I am talking about your time. It is a point-based concept. Let's say there is a river. What I say? River. Let's say this is your river. In geography, they will tell you this is your meandering river, right? Let's say this is your river. I say in this river, if some water is added at any point in time in the life of this river, some water, some channel is adding some water into it, this is known as your investment. Happening, flow is your investment, right? You say you have invested maybe this much capital, but investment is a flow concept, capital is a pointed concept. Capital is at any point in time, if you measure that investment, let's say at this juncture, you just measure that what is the quantity of total water or quantity of total investment, quantity of total your water or investment. Here what? Investment. Quantity of total investment at a given point in time is your capital. Investment is something happening. Investment is not something, but that is your creation for the long-term asset. Some deployment of capital is a process, so something happening. Something happening, that is, it is a process, right? Capital is your something that had happened, or it is the conclusion. Complex? Forget it. Let's say you have, today you have 5,000 rupees in your hand and you have to make the investment of, let's say, 3,000 rupees. 3,000 rupees you have invested. You cannot say this is the capital. The process of making something capital is the investment. So this is a process, investment is a process through which you make the capital. So at any point in time, if you have to measure the gross investment in the economy, that gross investment is nothing but your capital. But the process of creation of that capital is investment. So remember this, investment is a flow concept, capital is a point-based concept. People use it interchangeably, but capital is different, investment is different. Let's say you invested money in creation or purchasing of a machine, that machine is a capital. The process is the investment. Fine, I'm sure that you have understood this. Keep this in mind. Now these terms are being used interchangeably. But somewhere, let's say if UPSC asks you this question, you should know, you must know. You are here to gain something, and we have provided you that guarantee and assurance that at SuperPros we are going to give you the highest quality. I say inch by inch. We will cover the whole territory, however dreaded and difficult it can be. That's a promise, and we would live to that promise. What we have studied in this lecture? 4 things. Factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Let me write entrepreneurship in a simple, lucid, short manner. Land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. I say these are the core of the economy. Everything, goods and services which are being produced by anyone, anywhere, that will use whatever elements are there. These would be nothing but, these would be mix of these, or individually can be attributed to your land, labor, capital, or entrepreneurship. Now I ask you, when the new government comes in, or this government, your NDA government came in, they embarked on the reform agenda, right? So they talked about the economic reform. They embarked on your economic reform agenda. What was that economic reform agenda? Let's say you don't have to remember each and everything. You cannot be the captain of your ratification team. You don't have to go for cramming and all that. Understand this. The first thing this UPSC, the government, NDA government, they went for is after the land law. So they wanted to they wanted to ease the acquisition of land. And ease the acquisition of land plus ease the process of getting the minerals. Let's say there was coal mine related law was there, right? Iron ore related efforts are there. So ease in terms of land acquisition law plus, let's say, your mineral extraction. What is this area? The area of reform is related to factors of production, land. Yaad rahega? Okay. Labor reforms. They are talking about labor reforms each day. Labor reforms, labor reforms, labor reforms. They are talking about labor reforms. They are introducing a code. In this budget also, the finance minister talked about a labor code that would be in the 4 categories. So be it your remuneration, right? He talked about it. We will talk about these things in the later video. Remuneration is there. Let's say your safety related is there. Let's say your union related is there, right? Now the only law that was being passed in the country after this government came in was related to apprentices law. Labor laws, we'll talk about all these. Now these are labor laws. This is the agenda of reform. In terms of capital, what government had done and what government is doing and what all the government had done post independence or anywhere in the world. What they are doing is that they are going for capital, ease of capital. Have you heard of your FDI and FII? We will talk about this. Foreign capital, those who want to invest in India, those who are Indian investors, they want to invest in India. So easing of the norms related to your FDI and all that. You must be knowing that in this budget, the Foreign Investment Promotion Board, FIPB, which was the agency for approval of the foreign investment in India, that is nothing but flow of foreign capital to India. They have declared that this agency would be no more, right? So they are going to abolish this FIPB. What they are doing? They are doing ease of doing business. Have you heard of this term? Ease of doing business is nothing but acquisition of land, fast, proper acquisition of land, easing of the labor laws, easing of the flow of capital inside, outside country, and then promotion of your entrepreneurship. So you would have heard of, let's say, your Startup India, Stand Up India, right? These are nothing but, these are efforts of the government to take the economy in one direction. All these reforms, all these production, all these consumption of the services can be, services and goods and everything, all economic activities can be divided in 4 parts: factors of production, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. This is going to impact you. This understanding is going to help you in understanding economy in the easiest possible manner. Right? I believe, there is a deep belief that this lecture would have helped you, or this lecture certainly would put you on a path that would make economy easy for you, right? So to conclude this lecture, what we have studied, there are 4 factors of production. These 4 are nothing but constituent element of the production of any goods or service. These are at the core of economy. Land includes your land and your natural resources. Labor is something that is repetitive in nature, and that's wages are related to it. Capital is something that is long term in nature, and number 2, speak with me, that is long term in nature, and number 2, it creates further wealth. Entrepreneurship, that is your something that is innovative, risk taking, that is used for entrepreneurs solve the problem, right? And for that they are being rewarded. And then I built a framework on which the government is working to ensure that there is a ease in terms of all the factors of production. Thank you so much. God bless you.